week. I even put it on my Instagram, and I was messaging A1 to try and find you. So if you can send me, if you follow me on Instagram, VP, send me a DM because I owe you $50 because you won last week's competition. So yeah, good to see you back. I wasn't sure if you'd be here, but yeah, send me a DM on Instagram after I finished. I took some profit around here, basically around 2 to 1 R, and because of the extension on this 4 hour, I moved my stop to break even. So basically I've banked 2% on daily and certainly the weekly. This to me looks pretty good. And if I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's got the potential to really move. So Swiss yen I do like to the upside, and now I'm just waiting for a swing. You'd expect possibly a swing to come at some point soon. This price action won't last, although we would love that to happen. But you know, essentially a pullback, move our stop up there, and capture more and more profits. So this is where the patience comes in. It seems easy, right? It seems easy doing nothing, but it's actually difficult because if you see this pulling back, you might get a bit worried of, oh, what's going to happen here? You know, does it come back and we get no profit out of this second trade? And also the reason why I move that stop to break even is if we think about price action, what it's going to look like if we come back here, it's not going to be very good, is it? So moving your stop to break even, and now we wait for the swing. Ezio, how you doing, pal? Swiss yen was a nice trade. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm still in it. Had my stop a little too tight and it dipped last night. Oh, okay. But you made some money from it, I guess. Yeah, Ezio, that's where the patience comes in, buddy. So as long as I mean, it depends on how you like to trade, but as long as you kind of learn from it, if you are wanting to trade in a similar style that I do, where you know wait for those big winners, then yeah. Write it down, say maybe I was a little bit too tight, but well done. Still, you know, you live and learn every week, right? Rohan, how you doing, pal? Ahmed, good to see you, mate. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well. Sean, good to see you, pal. Hope everybody's well and had a good weekend. Okay, let's get into the DXY. So the DXY will be this competition. Now, it doesn't look too bad. Obviously, we had NFP on Friday. NFP didn't come out great. Unemployment come out a little bit better than expected. I think that unemployment numbers gave a little bit of support into that stock market. Now, depending on the dollar, this is why I don't like trading news, right? We've got a decent potential setup here. Could be a cut with handle A, B, C. Volume coming in on this 4-hour hammer. Obviously, the volume coming in from NFP. But if we do get a push through around potentially this B wave, a breaking close above, this still looks good for dollar longs moving forward. Now, the only other way to look at this is if we turn into a complex on this daily. So we wait for a potential 20-period catch-up and move to the upside. So my bias for the dollar is still long. It's certainly still long. It just depends for me on when that catalyst is to continue with this longer-term trend. So for me, there's two kind of options here. It's okay, this is a 4-hour ABC, created a higher low here from this movement to the upside, and now we start for continuation, breaking through these highs, and we go up. The other option, obviously, is we come back down and have another correct. Thirdly, is we massively fail. We don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. So I'm going to say, let me just think about what I want to do here with the XY. So I'm going to take a little bit of a bold call, and I'm going to call it a daily ABC. So I'm going to predict, and guys, remember, you can put your prices in. Whatever you think the DXY will be on Friday, $50. We'll stop it as soon as I go live at 1 p.m. on Friday, and whoever wins will win. Whoever's closest wins the $50. So I'm going to say roughly 93.722. That's my entry, 93.722. Remember, if I win, I get to keep the money. So yeah, get it into chat. Any of your predictions, get it into chat. I could be completely wrong. Like I said, it probably does look a little bit more bullish, but I'll take a little bit of an alternative view and go a bit shorter. Ezio, I'm rooting for you, Ezio. Let's see if you can win it this month. Ezio, 94.50. Actually, I'll write them all out after the stream's done. So I'll get you all in, so I'm not just writing everybody's prediction down. Anyway, looks quite good. Looks quite good to the upside. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Okay, let's get into the actual markets. SPX. Okay, getting you all in. Okay, cheers, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so the SPX. I would say you're probably waiting, right? We're certainly waiting. This could be a corrective from this impulse, decent rejection bar on this 4 hour. Now, my areas of probable confirmation or added confluence, let's say, because we can't ever get 100% confirmation, is a break if we consider this our anchor between either B wave or C wave. So I know we are still in the 40-60 box here. Oh, a lot more entries. Excellent. Cheers, guys. Keith, greetings. What's the challenge about? So basically, Keith, it's just a little fun challenge where on Monday, I pick a chart and you guys tell me your price predictions for that chart, and the closest one on Friday wins. So it's the DXY. So if you want to enter, just put your price prediction for the DXY on Friday, and the closest wins $50 for their beer on the weekend, or a monthly subscription to rtforex.com as your plug. Anyway, sorry, SPX. So yeah, I think at the moment it looks like a pullback, so continuation long still makes sense. We've got some dynamic resistance to price. We have some barriers because we have been on a downtrend, right? We have to remember that, but recent price action here looks pretty bullish. So what I would say for you're kind of to be a bit more confident in your risk sentiment, because we know the yen's come off, right? We know that yen is weak. We look at the Aussie yen chart, it's motoring. I mean, anything against the yen is motoring right now. And certainly if we get that confirmation, possibly above B wave here, alternatively, a break and close underneath here would be a little bit worrying for the stocks. Because again, we have to remember, we are on a downtrend and we've not broken this daily swing. So yeah, a confirmation above here, you'd probably be a bit more confident in markets moving up. Again, a bit more of a risk on bias like we're kind of having now. And the opposite is true if it falls below. So on the fence, you'd have to say on the fence right now, indecision time, whether we continue in this daily corrective or we push on. And let's wait and see. So yeah, for me, pretty much neutral, to be honest with you. And that's what I put on my risk sentiment, I think. Okay, setups today. So I've just taken a pound Aussie trade to the downside. I did discuss this on my stream on the website this morning. And the pattern's here. So we've got our head and shoulders, or we want to call it a V reversal, nice corrective channel here, and breaking through this area now. Notice on this corrective, we're firstly back to that 20, and there's a few wicks. If I zoom in, can you see that well? I'll zoom in. Sometimes, let me know if you can't see the charts, because I got a comment saying, I love your analysis, but sometimes I can't see the charts because you're not zoomed in enough. So let me know if I'm not. Anyway. So we've got a few wicks to the upside here. Looks quite bearish. A good volume break to the downside. Daily chart looks, you know, even though it was looking great at this point in time for longs, and it kind of did what we want and what we thought, this price action is slightly different. So, and look at this on the daily. You can see that on the daily. It's not extended. It's next to that 20. I kind of like that. TP1 is roughly around the support area. And I'm happy to take that to the downside. It could retest. Yeah, it could retest. And obviously we can fail. But yeah, I like that. You know, we've digested this move to the downside. Got that 20 period catch up, which is what we want. And breakout on volume, basically around that 20. There was a little bit in my mind on this area here. But again, because I am selective with my trades and because I do like this, I wasn't as worried. So pound Aussie to the downside, I'm in with about, I think it's about 103 pip stop, and I kind of like that. It's hitting the, yeah, Ezio, that's kind of what I thought here, but with where we are, with how we are with our daily, you know, sometimes you're not going to get everything, you know, your way with the trade, or else, you know, certainly for me, I'll never take a trade. And there was enough there, certainly on this pullback, and with that daily as confluence, to get me in. You know, this area price action I liked. So yeah, we could get a reaction here, and it could, I mean, what could happen is you could get a reaction. I mean, where is it going to be? Is it going to be here, here, or here? But maybe you get that pullback and then continuation to the downside. Now, if it does that, I can re-enter. So if I get a pullback that I like and a catalyst there as a breakout retest entry, I can go in again on pound Aussie. But yeah, normally I go with my gut feeling, Ezio, and I knew that I liked that. I know things that I don't like, but I knew that I liked that, and I took the trade. So pound Aussie is into the downside. Okay, setups, Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD potential shorts on a possible breakout retest here. Cut with handle, movement to the downside. But how it's gone today, I don't particularly like this bar here. It makes me a bit worrisome for a retest. So unless this turns into a complex now, I probably wouldn't take that. Just because, you know, with your retest, you want it to kind of come like this, don't we? Nice, smaller price action. No candles that are sticking out at the chart that are kind of showing you the opposite way of where you want this to go. Now, the thing I like about this trade is it's to the downside, but if I don't get that retest, I cannot take the trade. So Aussie CAD potential shorts needs to turn into a complex now. Pound Swiss. Pound Swiss, again, this is probably a good breakout trade that I didn't take. So we had our V reversal, nice corrective, push through, but wasn't enough there as a breakout trade to take that to the upside, and probably rightly so. So when I was looking at it in the morning, we were here. So I was looking at potential breakout and retest. So I think I'm going to leave that be for now on pound Swiss. Forget about it. Pound New Zealand is another one. Pound New Zealand. If you want me to look at anything, guys, let me know. Pound New Zealand again. This is, you know, there's times like last week where I'm like, well, why don't I take breaks on smaller time frames? Because a lot of things you get right. And then you see things like this and you realize, well, you know what, we're forgetting about all the ones that went wrong. So unfortunately, pound New Zealand is gone as well. EURUSD. Sorry, guys, when I come on, it's kind of a re-update, so I don't know whether they're working or not. EURUSD is nice, though. So again, go to our daily for our confluence. Nice push to the upside. Correction back to that 20. Slight rejection of that 20 in terms of a doji candle and pushing on. So that's quite good. Setups coming around this chart. Good V reversal. Head and shoulders within that basing structure. Coming down for a retest or a reload, sorry. Looking for something to get us in. Potentially, we get a smaller V reversal. Something like that in here. Breakout retest to the upside. Going with that trend. Nice pullback. Again, it could be a trade that you're getting in at the right time on EURUSD. So potential EURUSD to the upside just needs to break now. It still would be valid, right? It still would be valid if it goes through like this, okay? But I would prefer another slight reload, retest to move to the upside. I don't mind that. USDs are potential longs. USD SEC. USD SEC on this daily. Again, this is another one that's setting up quite nicely. We've got our potential volatility contraction in here. If we get a possible squeeze, in here, this would be nice. We just need to digest this move to the upside, and we're kind of getting what we want. We just need a little bit more on USD SEC for movement to the upside. I like that trade. I kind of want to get in on that trade, but I know I have to wait. And potentially, if you get that complex in the DXY, this would be good for this trade as well. So USD SEC, I do like, just have to be a bit patient. DXY I talked about, so the dollar potential longs is in play. ABC, push on, reload, break out to the upside. That is certainly in play for me because the setup is here. Push on, reload one more time to that 20, break out to the upside on the DXY. I like that. USD Swiss. USD Swiss is gone. I'm not going to go into that. Pound Aussie, I'm in already. And finally, USD Czech. So I'm actually in 2 trades, so I'm not as worried. But this one I do like as well. So we can see it there. USD Czech coming down. So we've kind of had a cut with handle. Coming into our corrective. Great 4-hour bar here. If we take this structure as a whole, from this, it's kind of getting to what we want to be. So this is interesting. This could be a trade for the US session today. What I would like to see here is, because the other alternative is this, right? So we've got to look at the other alternative, but I think because we're going with trend, this is okay. It's close, you know. You could actually take that order. You could actually take that breakout. Your stop would have to be under there though. Ideally, because of this decent wick to the downside, and notice, where's the wick come? Do you reckon a lot of stops are underneath there? I probably do. So that's just there. I mean, yeah, that looks like a complete stop hunt to me, you know. Anyway, if we come up and do this, this would be ideal. So our risk reward is a little bit better for movement to the upside. You know, as I said, the daily looks good. We're going with that trend. You've kind of got a bit of clear air here before this next real area of significant resistance to price. So this is nice. I think, yeah, I think it's maybe a day away, but I wouldn't mind if you wanted to take a break on that. I wouldn't mind. It's just not, again, go with that gut feeling. It's just not ready for me yet, but it's nice. Ethereum retesting resistance again. Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ether. I think that buy I had at 35 grand on Bitcoin was quite nice. I bought some more around, no, it wasn't 35. Where was it? 45? Somewhere around here. Is that right? When did I buy Bitcoin? It was somewhere down here on this dip. Anyway, sorry, Ethereum. Ethereum retesting resistance again. I mean, yeah, you're biased. I mean, look at this, Ezio. If you're starting to learn from me, where are we? We're at a very nice stage for potential movement to the upside in Ether at this anchor to our downtrend. So in terms, this is a daily chart. So this is quite good. For a daily breakout, you probably want a little bit more from my strategy. 4 hour looks quite good though. Decent push on from this area. You're looking for a breakout retest. Looking for a breakout of this zone. Now, don't get me wrong. A breakout this zone from a trading from a looking at the charts perspective looks good for longs. Okay, we know when Bitcoin moves, the alt market kind of takes its time and then moves a little bit afterwards. So, in terms of a trading perspective, I would need a little bit more here on the daily, just that 20 period catch up. So you're getting in at really the right time. But I certainly like it long. You know, I certainly like it long. I like where it is. So yeah, break out of that zone wouldn't be a bad place to enter or a bad price to enter for Ethereum, to be honest. I mean, I like Ethereum. I think if you enter it now, you'll be happy in 5 years' time, to be honest. That's my view on crypto. But from a trading perspective, yeah, not a bad entry on a break and close above that area. I can see Ether getting to 10 grand at least, you know, maybe even more and more going on there. You probably think that Bitcoin goes to 100 grand in a year, right? With how it's going, it's more likely to go to 100 than 0. So yeah, I like it. I like it. Ina, 94.47. Okay, I'll put you all in. All right, yeah, that's me. That's me done for this afternoon, guys. I appreciate y'all coming. If you like it, make sure you hit the video. I'll be back on Wednesday afternoon. I'll put all your entries in for Friday at 1. And yeah, VP, send me a message, mate, and I'll get that money through to you today. All right, guys, take care. Trade safe. I'll see you Wednesday. Peace.